Welcome to All About VCerts, the go-to podcast for busy teachers delivering NCFE Level 1 to Technical Awards. Hosted by myself, Rachel.
And Beth. We're both experienced provider development officers here at NCFE.
Each bite-sized episode is packed with practical insights, top tips, and expert guidance on all things VCerts.
Helping you make the most of your VCerts.
Hello everyone and welcome back to All About VCerts. I'm Beth.
And I'm Rachel. In today's episode, we're reconnecting with Glenn from our Assessment Solutions Manager here at NCFE, just to reflect on how the recent non-exam assessment clarification process was received with providers.
So Glenn, since the last episode aired, we've heard some positive feedback from providers. What's standing out to you and is working well?
Yeah, I think the scheduled release calendar has been a bit of a game changer. I think, providers appreciating that they know exactly when to expect the draft materials, we're very clear in that. And I think, as a result of the clarification window, it's helped reduce last minute stress. And I think, the feedback we're getting from centres, it's really improved that planning that they're doing in preparation for delivery.
And the clarity around the submission formats and the timeline seem to have made a real difference too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the tweaks we made were small, but I think they have helped streamline that delivery, reduce confusion, and I think the general consensus is that providers felt more confident, from having that sort of draft NEA and being able to contact us to get any sort of clarification points answered. So yeah.
Okay then, so let's talk about the benefits of the clarification process. So that's using the FAQs and the clarification process effectively.
Yeah, so my advice would be to check FAQs. If you do still have a query, check the FAQs on the website, check tutor guides, but also there's more subject-specific FAQs in the portal as well, which could support teachers for drilling down to individual subjects where we saw a theme coming out of the clarification window.
And just to let you know, you can locate the FAQ page by following the link on the podcast description.
Okay then, so let's use the next section to talk about the clarification window and the benefits centres felt from it.
Absolutely. So the window has been a really valuable addition. Within that 2-week clarification window, we had over 150 queries, all of which got an individual response. I think the level of engagement, shows how important clarity is to the providers. And we got some really positive feedback around how helpful it's been and the response, getting those speedy responses out. So yeah, we've had some great feedback.
That's fantastic. It's reassuring to know that providers aren't just sending in questions, they're getting meaningful answers that help them move forward with confidence.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about answering those questions, it's about building the trust, making sure that providers feel supported, getting those FAQs right, which, we regularly update those. But definitely the subject-specific ones on the portal should really support within that. Like I said earlier, where we saw a bit of a pattern, we've turned it into an FAQ just for centres to go to and reference, and that information is always available.
Brilliant. So just like a little recap, so the draft NEA that was available from the 2nd of September. The clarification window ran until the 16th of September and the live NEA delivery was from the 1st of October. So this year's NEA is now live on the portal. So then, what are your top tips for providers right now, Glenn?
I would say bookmark the FAQs, and like I said, we're constantly adding to those. So keep looking on our webpage for FAQs, and if we feel like there's a pattern coming in, we'll update those, and using the loop just to reflect on what's working and what needs adjusting, and we're just continuously trying to improve.
And keep in mind, every learner is important. These updates are designed to help you deliver the best experiences possible.
Okay, then, so just some final thoughts. Yeah, Glenn, thanks again for joining us, and it's been great to hear how things are progressing. And can I just confirm the status of the clarification window now?
Yeah, thanks for having us. The clarification window / web form has now closed. So moving forward, any queries you have around the NEA would just be business as usual, contacting the customer service team.
And it's been great just to hear how providers are engaging with the updates and just making the most of the support available.
Yeah, completely. It's really encouraging to see how proactive centres have been, how the clarification process has helped build confidence and that engagement with from start to finish of that clarification window.
And just a final reminder, the clarification window and web form are now closed. So please see the podcast description for customer support contact details, as well as the link again to the FAQs.
That's right. So the support doesn't stop here. Our customer support team's always available to help you with any ongoing questions or concerns.
And then just to round up our podcast with upcoming events, which also will support you in your teaching and learning with myself and Rachel. In November, we have a live face-to-face event in York with the EQA team, and we will be looking at standardization. And then in December, we have our Q&A that you can book on via our provider hub. And we're looking at key dates. March, we'll be looking at key information. May, we'll be covering holistic marking. And then June, we'll be getting you prepared for the academic year of 26-27. So please also book onto these. And again, the link will be in the description of the podcast. So thanks for joining us, Glenn. And thanks everyone for listening. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to follow, share, or leave a review.
Until next time, be prepared
And know we're here for you.
and stay connected.